meet, greetings and blessings. It's Amy Jean Gooslin again, or High Priestess Morgana Moonwater of the Coven of the Raven Moon, also owner of Sacred Elements in Flint, Michigan. Thanks for tuning in for our latest video clip, our witch bit. The information that we're going to cover today is some approaches to circle casting and of course circle releasing. They go hand in hand. I've brought in some of my Coven members and friends to help me today. I have Rhonda, Lindsey, and Francine. So we're going to get started on showing you our first approach to casting a circle, and tune into our previous bits and our next one if you feel you're missing information. Keep in mind that we are going to show just a couple of options, and that these are by no means the only way to do things, and your best approach in the craft is to go with what resonates with you and what you're comfortable with. I'm going to show a couple of different approaches. There are some approaches where we don't have to move physically around the circle at all, that we can use a tool, instrument, or simply our own mind and focus to cast the energy out from ourselves. The first one I'll show involves a tool, and this is my Athame. And you can look back for the bit on basic altar tools if you're wondering a little more about this. This tool is basically used to focus and direct the energy that we create within ourselves, the intent that we manifest. And the intent that I am manifesting is to set a boundary for us to do our magical practices in that will contain our energy until we're ready to release it and provide protection for us. It is the first of many steps in the outline to performing a ritual, circle, or spell work in our particular lineage. So for the first one, I don't move at all. You can start casting your circle really in any direction you choose. Some that are very traditional is to begin in the north or to begin in the east. Sometimes the east is chosen, that is where the sun rises. It's very representative of the God energy. But for this particular bit, I'm going to utilize the north to start my circle in. Predominantly because the north is the direction that's associated with the earth element, and that is a feminine element, and today we happen to be a circle of women. So for this one, we will begin in the north. But we'll just for that, you can use a chant or you can do it silently, but we focus our intention, what we're going to establish, and we utilize the tool to project that energy. I can aim it to direct it. I'm using my projection or casting hand here, where I best move energy forward. And I will trace that energy 3 times about. Of course, energy is all there is, all there was, all there will be. So it can move through us unimpeded. Our circle is now cast. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Of course, since it's hard to think about directing energy and not exactly direct that energy, I'll need to open this circle before I can show you the next approach or option that we sometimes utilize. As energy is drawn in a clockwise fashion in the northern hemisphere, it is cast out or released in a counterclockwise fashion. You will want to begin where you ended, and you will want to visualize that same energy drawing back in through your tool and into the core of yourself. What is done in the forward must be done in the reverse. And our circle is now open. Option number 2, one where I will actually physically move around the circle. And you have a lot of freedom and choices here, but I'm going to choose to use a different tool this time. And I will use my wand to assist me in casting my circle. Because I'm going to physically walk around the group, this will have to be done in something that allows room for or accommodates that to happen. Even though I'm physically walking around, I can still choose to cast the circle in a couple of different ways. I can choose to set my intent that I am going to physically establish the boundary of where that circle begins, and that inside the circle will be inside of where I tread a path. I can also choose to project that energy again further as I move around the room and establish it larger than where I physically tread. For this particular time, I'm not sure that it matters much for visual sake, but I'm going to physically establish the boundary where I walk. So when I do that, I want to make sure to take a couple of steps away from the circle and the circle members so that I give them some room to move around inside the circle. We never want to break this energetic boundary, so we want to make sure that we can keep it intact once it is cast. And for this, I will walk 3 times as well. As I've centered and focused, I will begin the actual cast in the northern quadrant. We tread the circle thrice about to keep unwelcome spirits out. I cast away all that is ill and bane. Only that which is positive shall remain. On this night that is not a night, in this place that is not a place, at this time that is not a time, our circle is now cast and we are between the worlds. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. All that is cast must be undone. And if you're going to physically move around your space to cast the circle, it often works best to do the same in reverse and physically move around the space to draw the energy back. Remember, your intention is how you focus and direct your energy. It's always going to be your most powerful ingredient to your magic. So at this time, we need to set our intent on calling that energy back within us as I tread the circle thrice in reverse. Circle is open. May it never be broken. I'm getting a little dizzy. I may have not thought of that on this. How you feeling?
Not very grounded at all.
One last option that I want to display for you today is one of my personal favorites that we utilize in the Coven of the Raven Moon often because it involves everyone in the circle. So today I'm joined by just 3 friends, but this same cast will work in groups as large as dozens. So I I prefer this one, and I will turn around when it actually begins. Ladies, in this one is the one that we project the energy larger than ourselves, and we cast in clockwise fashion. And to hand, the circle is cast. And we visualize that white light and energy expanding larger than ourselves. Let it set into place where it wants to rest. And our circle is cast. We release at this point, and we're free to move around in the circle area. This is the time in which one would do the magical practice that they came to do that day. Add in as many or as few of the components of basic ritual outline as they intend. And your work is done, an intention set in safe and sacred space. This circle casting is also released in a very similar manner to the cast. As energy is called in clockwise, it is released counterclockwise. We come back together and join our hands. We will then find that boundary, that circle that we've cast where the energy ends. We will hold. We will draw back into ourselves. And as the circle is cast, so shall it be released. And our circle is open. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you found this witch bit to be fun and informational as well. Make sure you look us up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're everywhere. See you next time.